House move. I made a video when I said I'll be doing some experimentation into colour, with the possibility of even exploring intuitively something to do with the way in which colour affects me, using the psychological tool of an ideomotor experience, using maybe the Ouija board or pendulum or something like that. In order to assist the process, I bought myself these. Now these I've cut off some larger sheets of plastic, which I bought from a company that produces these gel sheets for theatre. And what they do is they have their whopping great bright theatrical lights, and then they cover the lights with, whoops, here we go, the plastic, so that the end result being that there is a change in terms of the lighting on the stage, which is there for an emotional effect. Now, if you've seen enough theatre, you know, I don't have to see tons of theatre, but just enough of it, you know that if there's a scary scene in a play, it's always much more scary and much more emotional than if it was, let's say, on a movie or on a video. Much more. And that's because they're using not only their theatrical skills and costumes and sound effects, but also light. One thing which I can tell you as a result of objective science is that blue light, or blocking blue light, does affect your hormone levels. Okay? That's one of the reasons why we use devices like that. That's a very basic seasonal affective disorder light, which was very useful for me during the winter. And what you do is you use it in the morning. Use it in the morning because it provides you with bright light, it provides you with blue frequencies, and that helps to reduce the hormone of sleep, and it helps to set your circadian rhythms for the day, and assists therefore with seasonal affective disorder. Another thing that I'll point out is that when lighting that we used changed and people moved away from just candle light or just olive oil light and moved towards sperm whale oil, which gives off a much whiter light, there was a big change in people's sleep patterns, because finally, you know, they were getting a brighter, whiter light in the evenings, which was great to see by, but it affected the sleep patterns, because what people did in the old days is they would sleep for a while, then they'd wake up in the dead of the night, they would do a few things, and then they'd go back to bed. Alright? Because that's the natural sleep routine. So if you get insomnia occasionally, it could be your natural biological sleep routine is trying to reassert itself, so don't worry about it. Okay? But this change in sleep patterns happened because of hormonal changes in humans as a result of exposure to more blue light in the evening, which we weren't used to. These days, I haven't got any on my desk right now, but there's also blue blocking glasses which you can get, which you can put on to reduce blue light from your computer screen and your TV screen and your domestic lighting in the evening. And if you use those for 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed, then you're more likely to have a much better night's sleep, and experience proves that. Okay, in me, I've done that, it proves it. Or you can use yellow driving glasses which do the same thing. So we can say objectively that some colours do have a biological effect which is known. There's other speculation about other forms of ways in which colour could affect the body, and from that whole chromatic therapies have evolved. And in many countries it's actually illegal to say that there's a healing power or a curative power from the use of coloured light. So, you know, there's obviously going to have to be a certain level of skepticism and questioning which I'm going to have to apply to this subject. But I think there's nothing wrong with using these coloured light filters and my seasonal affective disorder lamp as a source of bright white light, and then just seeing what kind of effect it gives me. And I've tried placing those coloured filters on the lights and just sitting back and thinking, is there a change in my emotionality? And during a time when I was very stressed, the blue filters and the purple filters did seem to help to induce just that teeny weeny bit of calm. So there was an emotional change brought about by different colour. So now it's a question of investigating that in a deeper way. I just do a very basic kind of like demonstration-y type thing just for your benefit. So you can see that that's what the bright white light looks like, and There it is with the blue filter. I don't know whether that's going to affect you. Obviously, the camera's going to interpret the color in a different way, and there's going to be, you know, it's not going to be a true experience for you doing it this way. Okay. There's also color therapy software applications you can get on your mobile phone or tablet, and you can therefore use the screen of your mobile phone or tablet to explore how color is affecting you. And some people like overlap radionics and that sort of thing with the use of color, so that they can explore you know, how to infuse water or food or sac-lac pills with the color energy coming from the light, which I think is like an interesting idea. And there's a pink one. So, you know, there's all kinds of weird associations with the pink, sort of like rose energy and rose light. Don't know if that does anything for you at all, but it's, I think it's quite soft, quite beautiful, quite uplifting. Okay. As I say, the one which really chilled me out is the one I'm going to show you next, which is purple. Now, if you go onto one of these websites that provides these plastic sheetings, about like £3 a sheet, so it's not, you know, it's a fun, relatively affordable way of exploring colour. And the seasonal affective disorder light was about £20, so it's again a relatively affordable way of exploring these things. So it's a nice like lilac softness, gentleness. And then we can have a look at the sort of like amber one. Now that's more like, that feels like fireside, that feels like warmth, that feels like a, you know, a gentle, wholesome kind of full, satisfied, relaxing kind of feeling, to me anyway. Restaurants often have very strong yellow and orange tones because it's supposed to make you feel hungry or feel more like, you know, it's right time to eat or have food, which may be related to our primal, you know, times when we would have food around a campfire, or I don't know, just as a wild guess. And there's green for you. Verdant, healing, natural, soothing. Alright, then what do we got next? We got a blue. This blue is very good. I've held that up to like the TV screen and didn't let anything else through apart from blue. So both the red and both the blue, dark blue, is very, very pure in terms of the energy, you know, the frequency it gives out. It's just a blue frequency, just a red frequency. And that's got this, I don't know if that's both moody and cooling at the same time. It's a very strange feeling. And I think, you know, and also you can buy plastic spectacles which have different colours, so you can explore what it's like to wear these colours and keep them on over your eyes all day long, or for a few hours or whatever. And there's the light yellow, which I think is a much more cheerful, bright, emotional thing. So when we're having an emotional reaction to something, are we, you know, is it just something ethereal, namely just something we think we've got, or is it actually something which is happening inside our hormonal structure? Are all of our moods, which are generated by, let's say, the use of light and the color of light, actually biochemical changes? Well, we can probably say that there is some kind of like brainwave change or some kind of increase of some things within the brain. But then would that also translate into physiological things as well? To which I think the answer is, I don't know, because I'm not a specialist doctor, medical practitioner in these things, but it makes some sense, because an emotional change, even if it is subtle, is still a change. And if there is a change in your state of mood, then that relates to your brain chemistry, that relates to your physiology, your brain waves, and all that kind of fun stuff. So there must be something else to colored light, and how colored light could be beneficial or used constructively to adjust something. So when you're doing like a mindfulness meditation exercise, maybe having like some colored light of the right type around you could be good, or meditating on the colors and how they relate to, you know, the way in which the body and the mind operates, or the chakras or something like that, will be a useful extra tool for you. And the more you experiment with it and contemplate it and think about it, introspect about the whole thing, maybe you can add an extra level of amazingness to an aspect of your life. I don't know. This is just a combination of speculation and experimentation, and seeing how the, I suppose, expression of art through colored light could be intertwined with and used in your regular day-to-day life in some respects. Okay, remember your phone gives off light when the screen's activated. Your tablet, the same thing. If you've got a large tablet, and you can get a light therapy program on that, a chromotherapy, I think they call it, program on that, you can then tune into the lights you want to explore for free if you got a tablet and it's connected to the internet. And that could be a way in which you yourself could like use it. Or maybe like being in a dark room and the only source of light is your tablet giving off that light, or your seasonal affective disorder light box with you know, a colored sheet on it, and just see how you feel and see if there is a change to your mood. Just something to think about.